Hi friends, it's Brittany Valadez here for bravelydaily.com. Okay, so you probably have seen the title of this video, and that's why you're here. All right, well, I was inspired to share my story with you because I checked out a film by Angel Studios called After Death, and it talks about people who have died and went to heaven. And so for me, I was an out of body experience. I don't think I died. I didn't go to like a clinical death. I didn't get in an accident or anything like that. But I am going to tell you a little bit of backstory about what happened and let's get right into it. So I think it was in 2017. I was going through the apologetics program at Biola. I had just started, and it was then that I had a crisis of faith, which is why I decided to go to Biola to pursue a degree in Christian apologetics. So I've been a Christian all of my life. And it was about 2016, I think it was 2016, I did an interview with the cast of God's Not Dead 2. And that's where I heard about this thing called apologetics. I'd never heard about it growing up, and I've been a Christian since before I was born. Literally all involved in the church, Christian school, private school, Christian church, homeschooling, everything you can think of, all Christian, did it all. But I had this feeling, this fear of like, what if I was wrong in my faith? There are so many faiths out there. What if I die and go to hell? What if I got it wrong? I was doing an interview with the cast of God's Not Dead 2. That's when I heard about Christian apologetics, and I got excited. And then like an ad on Facebook came up. It was talking about, get a certificate at Biola. And I said, okay, let me try that. And then once I applied for the certificate, I said, I just need to go all in. And let me tell you guys that it was a God thing, because I have always been a person that has been pro education. Growing up, I was always a studier. I was always trying to be, some of the best, all of that stuff. But when I got my undergrad, I said, no more school, literally no more school. I am done with school. That is it. I will never go back to school for anything. You couldn't even pay me to go back to school. But then I went back to school. Okay, definitely was a God thing. Well, I went to Utah. I believe it was 2017, maybe it was 2018. I'm trying to remember. It was during like the Sundance Film Festival. So maybe it was like 2018. And I was with my friend. We were staying at her family member's house and we were asleep. Well, sometimes I tend to get up a lot during the night, and I know when I'm up and I know when I'm in a dream. I was definitely up. It was another one of those nights, where you just wake up and you're up. So I'm sitting up I'm in my bed and I'm laying down. And then I feel myself start rising, but I don't see my body. You just know. I was like, okay, I'm awake and I'm rising out of my bed. And I find myself like going towards the door. And I immediately knew what happened. What had happened. What was interesting enough was, again, I grew up in the faith. I knew that we can ask God for things, but He may not give it to us. That's just reality. That's how life is. He could give it to someone else. And so as I was going through, just starting my first semester at Biola, I was questioning, and I said, God, at the time, well, my dad had actually had an out of body experience before, and his story is way more interesting. I hope I can convince him to share it with you guys. If you guys want to hear my dad's story, maybe convince him by putting a comment in the comment section. So anyways, I knew my dad had an out of body experience before. And I said, Lord, if you want to give me that, I would love it. I really, really would appreciate it, because I was going through a crisis of faith. Well, then He answered my prayer. I'm fully awake at night, laying in this bed, and I start getting up. I don't see any body, like I don't see my body shape, but I just knew subconsciously, I was like, okay, I am above the bed. And I started going towards the door. At the same time, I was scared, because I was like, Lord, I don't think I'm ready. And I remember saying it, Lord, please, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Send me back. Send me back. Thank the Lord for His grace. He sent me back. And immediately I was back in my bed. I looked over, my friend was laying next to me, and I couldn't say anything to her. I kind of was like frozen. I said, okay, I'm just going to wait a little bit. And then I was finally able to speak. And I don't think I told her anything. She was asleep, but I got up and I called my dad right away. Granted, it was probably like 3 or 4 in the morning. Called my dad and I said, Dad, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you, but you are also not going to think I'm crazy when I tell you. And as I described to him, he said, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I understand all of that. And again, you guys, his story is way more incredible than mine. Mine is just like just a taste. And it was interesting enough that there was another time that I had something similar, well, happen to me. I remember I was laying in bed. Again, it was one of those nights where I just got up. And then all of a sudden, I start like going in this tunnel, like super fast, like it's just black. And then there's just white lights just going past me. And I was like, oh no. At the time, I was like, okay, that's it. I didn't think I was going to die, but I remember questioning, is this tunnel going to lead me to heaven or hell? I don't know. Those are two experiences that I have had when it comes to out of body experiences, which I think is so interesting. So those are kind of my experiences that I have had. And actually, I have talked to one of my professors. His name is Clay Jones. And you guys, if you want to see, I have an interview with him about life after death and all those kind of questions. If you want to see my chat with Clay Jones, put it in the comment section below, where I talk to him about my personal story. And you guys, I am not crazy. If Clay Jones, Professor Clay Jones, who specializes in death and the afterlife and all of that, he kind of basically confirmed that I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. But you guys, I will tell you the thing that happened after that. I was like, Lord, I know for a fact, Christianity is real, that you are real. There's a heaven and there's a hell. And it drove me to want to just focus on spreading the gospel. And guys, if you're watching this video right now, you are watching basically one of the fruits of that. I live to do ministry. I live to tell the world about Jesus. I have this desire to teach. I have this desire to share the truth because people must know. So studying the word of God, teaching the word of God, studying the word of God in context, teaching the word of God, and helping next generations and those who might be older than me but don't understand as much, helping them to grow has been my whole life. And friends, I really hope that this video is encouraging to you. And if you're seeing this video when After Death is in theaters, please make sure to check out that film in theaters. Or if you're watching this video in the future, see if you can find After Death maybe on streaming services. Until next time, I'm Brittany Valadez for BraveTheDaily.com. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.